what I want to bring in now, we have two other guests that are going to share the limelight with us now that Nathan is gone. Thomas and Andres, come on, have a seat here with us. They had some real cool stuff going about with music. You're dancing, but their music. Yeah, either way. Oh, I see you're going to get for this.
Hi.
We get a bigger camera angle and get all of us. Oh, that's a smaller one. Let's see, we get all. Ah, there we are. Sort of see backs of heads and fronts of heads or whatever. Okay, on my left is Anders Tusen.
Anders Thusen. You're
Thusen. Oh.
Some parts of the globe they made.
I got XYs. I'm not even clear names yet. And your main website is Indie Adams Morgan, right?
Correct. Yes.
Right. I know Adams Morgan. I have an apartment there in Adams Morgan.
I have seen you there several times.
I say,
how can I miss you?
Really, he doesn't just blend in with the crowd?
He does not.
No.
I'm shy.
And you were at one of our shows, I think.
Yes,
recently,
Thursday. Oh, were you
at the
there?
Black Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. And I want to go Tuesday too. And Thomas Vims, you know, when your email is TVILMS, and I just think TV, you know, and you're doing music and not TV. I said, you should be a TV.
He is our archivist.
Is that what it is? Yeah. But your website is District Sound Scene. But together, you guys are doing this great thing with words. I love words, and that's what music to me is all about. That's the problem with dance, is there's not a lot of words, and the words are so important. And you're doing what, songwriters and poets?
Songwriters and poets.
What
this
is
is
that?
the second year for it.
Oh, you did it last year?
I did it last year.
You didn't have him working with you?
No, I haven't met
right?
Thomas yet. He surfaced somewhere in probably February, maybe?
Early this year,
Yeah.
beginning of the year.
There's two series that I did over the past year, and Songwriters and Poets was the first, and did it strictly at the Black Squirrel last year on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And over the course of June, we featured 46 performances.
46 performances
46.
on Tuesdays, Thursdays. I mean, are there that many Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Well, there's
I
three
see.
and
It's
four
for
and five.
people. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I
so
see.
Singer-songwriter style with poets.
Yeah. Oh, it's a
And
great
it's really,
thing.
it's not so much singer-songwriters as it is songwriters. This is about original music. It's about local DC music. It's about the artists less heard. It's to me that my mission is kind of twofold. One is that I moved to Washington for a short time, 4 years, in 1998. And I just happened to...
You left and came back?
Yes, I'm a New Yorker and a DCer at this point. So I left and came back a few times, but a lot of my clients are here. I do construction and renovation as my day job.
I see.
And that fund,
so your arts organization is part-time.
That's my funding source
I see,
for
right.
the arts side.
Right.
We haven't really taken the leap into fundraising, but I'm very interested in this
Yeah,
this fundraising site, so I was trying to catch that URL. I'm sure you'll throw it out at us at some point.
But it's Ignition. Maybe we didn't give it enough. I forget. Ignition Deck. You know, like ignition in your car, starting up your car. And Ignition Deck. Yeah, it's a cool.
It's in the brain.
It wouldn't be for me. Yeah.
So it was last year for Songwriters and Poets. It was pretty much an invitation to the owners of Black Squirrel that I dreamed up this opportunity.
Why? Because you hang out there all the time and you want some good music?
They're clients. I've done several things for them over the years.
Now, how many? That hasn't been there long, has it?
It's on its 7th year now.
It is fun.
Yes, and we just built a new place after actually renovating it. We took the old Toledo Lounge.
We
polished it up, and it didn't fly because I think it had gone so far down it lost all of its clientele of any quality.
You were hoping for the Toledo people to come back?
No, they were hoping for a new wave of people to come, and the decision was made to basically blow up the work that I had done the year prior.
What is it now? Bowling alley or what?
No. We've rebuilt it as it'll be called Libertine. It's going to open this coming week. As a
Libertine?
Libertine.
As in
absinthe. Essentially. So I'm spilling the beans here.
I see.
But that's not why we're here. But it's,
No, right.
it's a beautiful place, and I built it and designed it with the owner, Amy Bowman. And we repurposed antiquities from
I
all
see.
over the Northeast.
Wow.
So it's going to be a
Very
real
cool.
beautiful
Yeah.
little place. Yeah, it came out very nicely. But anyway,
The
so,
poets, yeah,
So
poets
Songwriters and
songwriters.
Poets was
Yeah.
an inspiration. Amy asked me to do some music at Black Squirrel.
Do music. You're
yeah.
a performer?
No, to put on some music.
Oh, I see.
Over the years, I've been a presenter. I don't like to call myself a promoter because I'm more of a facilitator. I create events.
You don't charge a lot.
And people like Thomas, with the will of the universe,
Yeah.
shows up and helps to create the other side of the equation, which is the promotion and the marketing side.
The customers.
I do it all, but I don't do it well.
Right.
And my preference is always to focus on bringing the artist to the stage. So that's what I do best. And we had such a good turnout last year over the course of the month, like a yo-yo, but and it really
Yeah,
depended.
46.
It's so artist dependent
Yeah.
on what I do
I would
because
think.
we are so underfunded and under advertised, and I can go on
Welcome to yes,
The arts.
Hi,
Welcome to
that's
the
never
arts,
going to change.
correct. I've been doing this for decades, but the one point that I want to make, and it has made it very difficult, and you would think it would have made it easier, is the onslaught of the internet and all the information that it's brought along. Prior to the
Good or
internet,
bad, you mean?
Back in the early 90s and mid 90s, I started my passion for presenting and up in New York. And
So
it
you're
was
doing shows in New York?
it was
Yeah.
very easy to present a show and have a turnout that was just
Huh.
off the hook.
Well, why? I mean, you have, it seems easier now with the internet to
So
to get
much
it
less
out.
competition
Oh,
on
I
the
see.
airwaves. I
Yeah.
had
I see, right.
people were reading newspapers,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
entertainment writers could do features, and it would just
Yeah.
draw hundreds, if not thousands, of
Yeah,
people.
it changed my business too. I used to do talk
And
shows.
Yes,
Not
and
anymore.
It's a whole new dynamic. So here we are on
Exactly.
microphones, internet radio with,
Right,
with video.
exactly,
So this is a wonderful opportunity, and I think we're on the ground floor of trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And Thomas and I have racked our brains consistently, and I think we're coming up with some good observations. And him mostly because he's really focused on
The
what it's going to
promotion,
take
yeah.
to bring people to
the-
our events.
Yeah.
I've kind of spent a lot of time reaching out to bloggers, especially in the Twitter sphere, which I'm finding is not necessarily the most effective term to get people out. There's an incredible amount of vicarity in Twitter. Less so in Facebook, but now Facebook has
What was that word?
restructured
Vicarity?
Vicarity.
Vicarity. And Facebook has now restructured
He's a poet.
itself on some level, I suppose. And Facebook has restructured itself now where you as a page owner, as opposed to however your individual site is.
Yeah, it's like a web page now.
It's very difficult to reach out to your full audience that follows you. There has to be switches hit and retweet or don't want to say retweets, but
Right.
Thomas, you can
Sharing
you can
and liking and promoting now.
tagging.
Just
Yeah,
Tagging is the new thing.
Do you do
Thomas
a lot
came
of
up
this,
with.
Judy?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so old. I'm like, what does that mean?
You're
You tried to
26,
poke
so
me. No, I do it. I think it's hard because I think
Haven't
my
tried that.
generation is so used to doing everything online
Yeah.
that they think that once they've done the step online, they're done.
Yeah.
When everybody
Right.
knows, like, the rule of marketing, it's not the first time, it's like
Right.
the fifth time.
Yeah.
Or the
So-
27th
or the 27th time.
Right.
So if
Yes.
if you're using Facebook so well, you forget that so is everybody else. So I completely agree with you. It's so hard because of the competition and because everybody now expects things to be online. But sometimes it's really seeing it in front of you on a piece of paper
But I
that
mean,
actually
like,
is
yeah,
the most effective
But
still.
Yes.
We found that.
bringing people
Flyers,
in for
handouts.
dance, and it seems like you guys are doing the same for music, stuff you would not see anywhere else.
Well, our
Yeah.
intention is to re-enliven Adams Morgan.
Uh-huh.
And Adams Morgan, to me, when I first went there, I'm in Greenwich Village.
Right,
And
absolutely.
that's where the arts really
Absolutely.
thrive in New York. In the Bowery and now Brooklyn, and
right.
there is an
Yeah.
enormous amount of resurgence in the city. Not always city musicians per se; they've come from all over the country.
And aren't they having a
to make
festival in
their mark.
Brooklyn now? Right now, is there?
Yes.
More than likely.
Yeah, they're always having a
Yeah.
festival in Brooklyn.
Every
Why not?
weekend.
Yeah,
Got to get your latte and
Yeah,
get over
exactly,
there.
yeah.
And DC is really has a real strong music culture, but it's predominantly mainstream. And I've found through my networking with local artists that they're most successful with house shows
House shows meaning.
and DIY events.
Uh,
People put on shows in their homes. They put on
Oh,
shows in their living
really?
rooms. They
So a
put on
local
shows in their
band
basements.
will perform at your basement, huh?
There's an entire network out
No
there
kidding.
that you can crack
Instead of getting in
into.
a
Yeah.
club.
Instead
I-
of going to a club
Right.
and feeling obligated to buy drinks and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. But
Wow.
I'm not averse to that. I love that culture. But for me, I wanted to create somewhat that feeling in Adams Morgan. So I grabbed a few of the venue owners, one that was very dormant called Club Heaven, that used to be a popular rock dance club, especially on Thursday nights, and had grown kind of crusty over the years. And
The
I
one
think
upstairs, that one?
It is the one
Yeah, yeah.
upstairs, yes.
Yeah, I say I'm too old. I mean, I know the places, but I don't hang in.
No, neither do I. Neither do I. So, excitingly, I was given the opportunity by the owner, and I've been talking to him for 15 years to do some kind of music. In his
15
club.
years.
Believe it or
See,
not,
he's
it's
not the
frightening.
salesman. You got it.
I'm a little slow on the uptake on that deal. I keep telling myself I started this 12 years ago, and we would be way ahead of the curve. But sooner or later you have to take the leap.
Yeah.
And this year, after Songwriters and Poets last year, I took the leap into heaven.
I see.
In November, after being on the board for the Sweet Tea Pumpkin Pie Festival.
I see.
don't know if you heard of that. But that was a festival that occurs annually. It's going on its third year, and that's
Adams Morgan?
on Columbus Day.
Oh,
Adams Morgan Day was one of 4 neighborhoods that presented over 300 independent bands. Now,
on Adams Morgan Day, there were 300 bands there?
not Adams Morgan Day.
Oh,
In Adams Morgan was one of 4 neighborhoods on Columbus weekend
I see.
that hosted over 300 bands
there were
last year.
300 bands that
Yes,
weekend.
and we broke the ice at Club
Wow.
Heaven that weekend, and I
Uh-huh.
saw an opportunity, and I saw
Yeah.
that indie fans will come to this crusty
Yeah.
old club, and it's a nice room. Once you get in it, you realize, wow, this is incredible. It's filled with art
Yeah.
done by a
I
singular
see.
artist many years ago,
Wow.
who eventually became a Columbia University art professor.
Wow. Now you say indie band, so that's like bands talk, indie. I mean, I'm too old.
Independent.
Independent bands, like
They don't have the
Nathan
funding.
earlier, he was saying that his site's
Yeah.
used by a lot of indie
Yes.
bands.
Oh,
So for a
absolutely.
couple grand,
And
they're able to get
It's
something
interesting
like
because
that.
people think indie bands, they think rock and roll immediately, but it
Right.
covers every genre.
Everything, yeah.
Every genre.
Well, I'll tell you, I was so fascinated when I met you on the street, and I went to the site. Why don't you play this woman who's coming here tomorrow night?
Christy Linnaeus.
Yeah,
She'll be
Christy-
here Tuesday
Tu-
and Wednesday.
Wednesday,
night. Tuesday
she
at the
is
Black
just-
Squirrel, Wednesday at Heaven.
She'll be at Heaven. What's a
On
better
Wednesday.
venue for her?
They're going to be great.
Okay, good.
So come out.
Good choice.
Come Tuesday.
What's your favorite
and
child?
you'll want to come
You
back
come Wednesday,
You
okay,
really
so-
will.
Yeah, how did
Believe
she
me.
do that?
This woman is. A
Yeah, let's
godsend
watch
from
her
heaven.
because
Okay, cool.
she's a knockout.
Thomas, thanks for sending that in.
There's a lot of community programs out there, a lot
Yeah.
of human services. You're aware of
Yeah.
of a lot of great programs, but it's hard to find them.
Yeah.
With so many programs, so many of them are
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Pretty
when you
wild,
sent me the
huh?
link and I saw
Pretty
she
wild.
thumps on that guitar and makes the sweetest music.
And sings as well. I mean, she's
Really,
like
I
a
mean, I
voice.
could tell that she has, you know, her
She's-
heart's coming through all this.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And,
like no one else.
she's spent a lot of time over the past year touring with Tim Reynolds, who is Dave Matthews' guitar
Oh,
player.
really? Wow.
And his quote of her is tops on her website, which I would believe
Which
should
is
be there.
What did it say?
I don't have it memorized,
But sort of.
Thomas probably retyped
Let's
it.
paraphrase. It's
Yeah.
This is talent. Ed. It's-
Oh yeah, I mean that's.
Something
But
like that.
I saw a second or a few seconds of that, and I thought, oh, you know, that really grabs you inside. I mean,
She's a
just
one-woman symphony. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't know
to
how.
sit and
And
listen
actually,
to
the women I saw, yeah, I think they're all women again too. No, there was one guy Thursday at Squirrel, that opening night. I mean, there was one lady that was, you know, writing her own stuff too. That was really good there.
That
I
was
liked
probably
her.
Neela Kay.
Yeah, maybe so.
She,
Thin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the poet was a kick in the ass. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got some of the best poets in DC. coming
Yeah,
out
I mean,
for this event.
it is just,
So-
I mean, because, I mean, the problem with, you know, the explosion of media that, you know, the people that are like that, you don't see anymore. Before we had all this, you know, now it's sort of like a winner-take-all society because everybody could get, you know, Jay-Z. So everybody else that's a little
Yeah,
better,
no,
you
this
never
is-
hear about.
Yeah, I don't know that. You know, I don't know who's best or who's different, but you know, certainly artists somehow
yeah.
get the media kiss.
Yeah, well,
in
well
this day
but
and
then
age.
it's like eating pizza all day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
you want to know what
there-
else is out there.
Yeah, I mean, Buddha calls it dukkha. You know,
Dukkha.
the pain of life. And,
Yeah.
and the different levels that you go through to achieve, you know,
Yeah.
your growth and your existential reality.
Well, this is
So-
that's a I have your two websites too. Let's put 34. This is Thomas. If you're looking for him, now this is
So this
Yeah,
is
the
district,
district
sound,
sound,
scene.
right,
There we
yeah.
have it. Yeah.
yeah, and then also the other one, the Indie Adams Morgan site is the next one. So are both you guys? How did you do this? Put the next one on too.
Well, one thing that just jumped out at me when I saw Indie Adams Morgan for the first time.
Uh-huh.
I'm here in the district. I've been in the area for over 10 years, and I love music. I love a thriving music scene. And DC is actually one of the nation's best cities for live music, whether you know it or not.
And what
so I was-
do you do renovations like he does during the
No,
day too?
no, I do IT work.
Oh, I
So
see.
I
Okay, so
build
these are
things.
both your passions. So you find
Yeah.
an outlet for your passion.
But
to
I've
do this.
also played music, you know,
I
so
see.
I relate to the artists, and especially in this day and age, I relate to the struggle of artists who are
Yeah.
trying to build a career out of it.
Right.
And you know, if you don't have funding, if you don't have a record
Right.
label behind you, or if you don't
Or
have
a staff of grant writers like somebody else.
then you know how are you going to make a career
Right.
out of it? You-
So
you
then
have to
really
give up.
you're helping artists get known and be more self-sufficient.
right.
and,
through your
and
work.
learning how to do it in the process. I mean,
You're learning or they're learning or
We're-
both?
we're
Everybody's
yeah,
learning.
right, exactly.
Ours is
I don't know
also
what the hell I'm doing
This is a
either.
learning forum.
And I've
I
been
mean,
doing
Indie Adams Morgan in general is a cooperative. It's about artists, supporters,
I see, yeah.
bloggers. I mean, we're
So, I
just
mean, so
we're a
you
bunch of
could really
DIYers, basically.
Start this for like $100 for a website and you got it, right?
Well, I started with a $7,000 investment in the city paper that was
Oh.
fortuitous. And
What do you
just-
mean investment in the city paper?
Well, I bought a series of ads to promote
Oh.
Indie Adams Morgan. In
I see.
That series, which started in January,
Ah,
actually ran
okay.
through May. And found out that if we got 3 people in the entire 6-month period from that kind of paper investment,
Yeah.
it really takes a media kiss. It
Yeah,
takes a
yeah.
writer who understands what we're trying to
Yeah,
achieve to
it's-
embrace it and come out and learn about what we're
Yeah,
doing and
it's
the artists. It's
Yeah,
really about,
legitimacy.
it's not about me, it's
Right.
it's about the artists, that are
Well,
involved.
that's you're
and
facilitating that. You know,
yeah,
and-
that's the key.
But I mean, to me, it's like taking your passion and trying to educate people about what your beliefs and passion are, what other people should know
Well,
about instead of the same
Yeah,
old
I mean, if
junk.
the fans would come forward like the artists have over the past
Mhm.
year, we would be all off the hook and just
Yeah.
living.
But I think
La Vida
anything. I
Loca.
mean, look,
So-
they've been at this 25 years.
32.
32.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Good
anything.
success,
My life, and now even myself is starting again. I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know, I'm guessing, and everybody thinks I just make a phone call and everybody have it because I've been on TV or something. No, I mean,
We rock and we
you,
roll.
you, you
That's what we
gotta
do.
go. Yeah, nobody knows what the hell works. I mean, you say, sure, you know about advertising. Everybody can buy advertising, and I did that many, many times. I still get sucked into it. And that's why I think the name of the game is that we don't know what works. So the key is you try as much as you can that costs no money. Because when you start spending money, you're out of the game.
Right.
Yes.
Well, there's an excellent book, Guerrilla Marketing.
Yeah,
Yes.
same kind.
It's been a classic
And-
for 30 plus
Yeah.
years because it hits that thing.
But I would do the same thing you do. I mean, I go out and buy the ads, and then like when I was doing TV ads, I'd go out and buy. What's this cost? Okay, fine. I go out and I wouldn't have any money. So then I found out, well, nobody buys it all the time. You know, there's stuff that they don't buy. So I go, okay, here's my commercial. Nobody's an idiot and buys it. Put mine on. I'll give you half the money. and then that's when I made tons of dough without any risk. Yeah.
That's a
and
good equation.
yeah. So let's put the one for the poets and writers again, because this is so to see her on Tuesday and Thursday,
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Wednesday,
This week. Mhm.
and she's going to be
She'll be at Black Squirrel on Tuesday.
30. I think that's it. Let's put 30 on. Yeah, that's it. So you go. I actually probably just Google songwriters and poets Adams Morgan, and you'll find this page.
Go to districtsoundscene.com
Okay.
and you'll see the whole lineup.
Yes, and you can
Make
buy
it
your-
easy
you
for
can
you.
buy
Right.
your tickets.
Buy your
right there.
tickets there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
My
I mean-
site's a little more informational. Thomas has somehow mastered. I mean,
I
I am
see.
a novice at
Right.
WordPress, but I'm trying to teach myself.
WordPress. So you do